Here's the demo for exercise 4-1, format the Town Hall homepage. So first thing it does is have you open up the index.html page. So I have that open right here. This is your starter file. Then you want you to use the text editor to open up the templates basic.html. So I have that open right here as well. Then it wants you to copy the second and third link elements from the head section. So here's the head section, second and third link elements. So from here down to here, it wants you to copy those over. Okay, so we don't need the script. So just right here, those two links right there. Copy that over into, and I'll open up this one here. So it's just right like that, right in there. The next thing it says is to note that the first link element is for the normalize.css style sheet in the style subfolder. So next it wants you to complete the href attribute, so the hyperlink reference, because before it just stated the .css, the extension, but did not have the actual page. So here you're going to put in the name of it. So c4_main.css because that's in my file here. Yours may or may not be called that. All right, so then you're going to close the template. So we're going to close out that basic template by clicking on the X. And then, all right, let's go to the next part of it. So I'm going to bring this over here so I can see. All right, so we're going to use the text editor to open up the CSS main. So I have that open right here. And you'll see that it includes a style rule for the font family, the font size for the body, so that's going to be on the entire body of the web page. Then the style rule that floats the image, so inside the header there's an image, we're going to float that left. And then the style rule that clears the floating in the main section. So it wants us to, number 5, add 2 style rules for the header to the style sheet. First one should be for the H2 element. It should set the font size to 170%, set the color to hashtag 800000, and indent the heading 30 pixels. And I'm just going to jump over to my finished one here. So here's what we have. We have the H2 right here with those styled, and then it also says an H3 element with these following attributes. I want you to test the page in Chrome to make sure the style sheets have been linked properly and that the image has been floated and the headings have been formatted correctly. If there aren't, then you need to make those corrections. Sometimes if you've got, if you don't see any of that, it means that your style sheet on your index page has not been linked properly. So in other words, sometimes, it's spelled incorrectly here, or, maybe you had a capital M instead of a lowercase m. Anyway, so just check that first. All right, so number 7, note that it wants you to test each change right after you make it. So don't do all of these and then test it, because then you won't know which one is causing the problems. So you want to add a style rule for the H1 elements. So I'm going to go back to my CSS. So H1 down here. So number 7, add it to H1 elements within the main element. Okay, so main H1. That's how you have to do. Look at the outer tag and then focus closer in to your specific tag you want to reach, and keep doing that. The more specific is the closest to the opening bracket. Okay, so you want to set the font size to 150%, which it does. It does do that. And now test it. If you remember, you're going to click over here, but you want to make sure that you're on your index page first, and then click on this live preview and open it up. I'm just going to go through all of them because mine's already done. Number 8, style the H2 of the main element. set the font size to 130%, and then the color. Number 9, you're going to do the same for the H3, make the font size 105, and then number 10, add a style rule that italicizes any link that has the focus or has the mouse hovering over it. Okay, so right up here, any link, so you know that it's an A, anchor tag, starts your link. Any link that has the focus or the hover, you want it to italicize. So you put a comma in between since those two are different elements, but they are going to have the same attribute. Okay, and then lastly, number 11, you want to add a style rule that centers the P tag in the footer. So you go make the footer, then the P tag, and then text align center. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll just click here on the live preview. Oops, sorry, didn't do my own thing. Get on the index page first, then click live preview. And it'll open up in your default browser, and then you can see how that has changed. Okay, all right, so number 12 says to display the page in Chrome, which we have it up there, and then press the F12 key to display the developer's tools. So I'm going to do my F12, and notice these pop up here for you. So you're going to expand the main element in the elements page. So here's the main element right here, and expand it means just click on that arrow and open it up. You can click on one of the H2 elements, so we'll just click our mission. And notice when I do that, it highlights over here on the side. And it pops up down here. Review the styles for the H2 element. I'm looking at number 13 in the styles pane down here. Notice how the font family style for the HTML element in the normalized style sheet is overridden by the font family style for the body element in the main style. So font family style, there it is. So down here, inherited from HTML, cross that out, and you put in the font family here from the body, so it overrode what was in there before. Let's see. Also notice the font size style for the body element in the main style sheet and the H2 element in the user agent style sheet are overridden by the font size style for the main H2. So looking up here, font size is 1.5M. Now it's 130% when you put in that CSS before for the H2 that we just did to change it. So that's how it kind of cascades. You can override it by putting in the information in your style sheet. Okay, number 14, click the icon in the Developer Tools toolbar that has a square with an arrow pointing to it. So that is up here at the top, this one right here. So if you click on that, and then it says click on the H2 element. So I'll just click there. There we go. In the header to see that it's now selected in the elements pane. So you've got it showing, like I said, down at the bottom here, it's up here, and you hover and it also shows on the left pane. Review the styles for this H2 element to see that they're similar to styles for the main H2 element. So if you're down here looking at both, you can see that they're quite similar. And then, however, the font size for this element is larger and it has a text index. Okay, so that you can notice those things. All right, I'm going to go back over here, part 2. All right, so when you're done looking at this, this is a tool for you to check out all the different tags and elements on the page. When you're done, you just click the X up here, and it will close out of it. And then the finishing touches, 17 and 18, I want you to add a text shadow to the 75th. So you can see I already have that right there. How did I do that? Well, inside the HTML, when I find my 75th right here, line 16, you put in a class, set that equal to shadow inside quotes. And then when I go to my CSS, I have created a shadow style rule. So it's a class, so it's a dot in front of it. And then I set it text dash shadow for 2 pixels. And then there is my color. Okay. And then you can test it in IE. I won't go through all of that, but you can do that on your own. Okay. Thank you.